And then of course there's this moment where Dina has to just exposition dump her whole backstory, and Ellie with her acting abilities is like, oh, I'm so sorry, lol. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I have to speed run through this video because I have a lot to say. There was a lot going on in this episode, so I'm just gonna get right into it. Hopefully you stick around. If so, leave a like and subscribe. Let's get going. By the way, I'm going to say this right now. Great acting by both actresses. Fantastic acting. I will not take that away from them. This whole scene was honestly just fantastic. It was tension filled. There was something interesting going on. I wanted to know more about it. Like, I want more about it. Please tell me more. Let's not go back to Ellie and Dina, for the love of God. The beginning of this episode was really creepy. Really liked it. And you know, it tells you, it makes you wonder what is locked in the basement. Into the next scene that really pisses me off. Dina is listening to the radio to figure out the coordinates of any of the members that are on the wolf side of things. Ellie somehow turns on the lights on this huge giant building. Luckily she didn't run into any clickers or any infected. Oh, must be nice. Doesn't that draw attention? Like, there's people in the city. Doesn't that draw attention, them seeing a whole building all of a sudden light up? You know, like, oh, I wonder what's going on there. What that pisses me off the most is, why isn't Ellie doing the whole radio thing? Why is Dina doing it? We cut to a scene where Ellie goes into this theater, and I really thought that another song was gonna happen. Thank God it didn't. But again, it was like, are you guys not worried about making too much noise in the post-apocalyptic world? Ellie finally starts to act like she wants revenge. And basically when Dina tells her that, you know, she knows the coordinates, then we need to go, you know, I actually like the fact that Ellie didn't take into consideration Dina or her safety, but it's also kind of messed up that she is pregnant and you're willing to put her through something that is very, very dangerous and you don't know what you're walking into. How does Dina know the streets are completely safe? Has she walked through them? Not just of wolf members, what about infected? Like, you don't know that. You don't know this city. I'm just getting sick and tired of Dina acting as if she knows her way around in a city she's never been to. After finding a group of scars, that's when the whole interaction between Ellie and Dina happened of whether or not she wants to continue. And then Dina has a moment, or basically where she's telling Ellie that Joel was right to do what he did, that, you know, we need to do that, you know, like, you know, there was a lot of in this. And again, why isn't this coming from Ellie? Ellie is the one that wants to kill Abby. Why is Dina acting like she's the one that wants to kill Abby? Like, this is so confusing. And then of course there's this moment where Dina has to just exposition dump her whole backstory, and Ellie with her acting abilities is like, oh, I'm so sorry, lol. It really just feels like Ellie is the one tagging along, when it should be vice versa. It just, I mean, that's what I'm getting, guys. I really am not getting this person that just is seeking and urging for revenge from the person that did this horrible thing to the one she loved. You know, like, nothing, nada, zilch, coño. Get to this portion of the secured border where apparently there's a gap that Dina found out through listening through the radio. Why is there a gap? We don't know, and we're never gonna find out, but okay. We have another moment of Dina telling Ellie, hey, don't use any firing, you know, listen to the radio. And it's like, is Ellie, she should know this, right? Like, Joel taught you something, I thought. Moment where we run into infected, and then they have this moment where, you know, it's like, you know, I love you, and it's like, I love you too, and it's like, you barely know each other, but I guess. Give the show this. The warehouse scene was cool. It was creepy. I loved the audio editing that they did for the infected. It was creepy. It gave me goosebumps, and I absolutely loved it. It just seemed like there was someone still there in the infected, which again, this is lore that I want to find out more of, but we have to stick with these two. I'm just gonna say it. How in the tarnations did Jesse find them? They needed a man to save them from a horde of infected? Oh, Craig, how non-progressive of you. telling you, I'm gonna say this. They actually bring this up as a thing later, where Ellie asks Jesse, "Hey, how did you find us?" And he's like, "Well, I found the map that you left in the theater." But then she obviously asked him, "How did you find the theater?" And he's like, "I don't want to talk right now." And that's it. The show literally left it like that. They need to address that in season 3, because we all know that the next episode is just going to be pure flashbacks, because I don't know why, because Joel's already dead. It's like, you need to answer that. That's an important question. And if not, what a giant mess up of writing. What is this? This is not good writing. This is lazy writing. And Jesse's there and he helps save them from certain death. And then he tells them that apparently Tommy is in town as well. And they all run into a group of scars and they're doing their, amazing torturing thing scene, which was Jesus Christ, but great for the show, legit, but it was like, Jesus Christ. Basically understanding that both of these groups are absolutely insane and we need to avoid both of them. Yeah, somehow they get spotted by the scars and Dina gets hit, and somehow they get separated and Jesse goes with Dina and Ellie goes on her own, and of course she runs into the hospital. Of course she just happened to sneak in, no problem, no questions asked. And of course in the next scene she runs into exactly one of the people she needs to run into, which is Nora. So yeah, they ended up talking a little bit, and of course Nora decides to run and they end up in basement 2. Give this to the show. The set design for this scene is incredible. I will give the show that. That is a 10 out of 10 set design. I've never seen anything like it. It looks beautiful. It looks like they took their time. If this is CGI, that is completely insane. But overall, this set is beautiful, fantastic, amazing, which is a shame because it's being wasted on a stupid story. Ellie decides to turn on the power and somehow runs into Nora, who is getting infected because, by the way, in the beginning of the episode it was explained that they think the spores are in the air, so now you can get infected by breathing them in. Ellie, being immune, she doesn't care and she basically just starts acting like the Ellie that I was expecting this whole season. This person filled with rage and revenge and just wanting to get what she wants at all costs, regardless of anyone, even Dina. That is what pure revenge is. It is awful, but it consumes you. I wanted to see more of that. And this last couple of 5 minutes was exactly what I wanted to see. But that's not what the season is. Let's face it. Also, I'm just gonna point this out right now. Nora saying that the only doctor that would have cured or created the vaccine for the virus, big might have, okay? Let's not leave that out. Big might have, okay? You see the preview of the next episode and it's clearly just going to be a flashback scene about Joel and Ellie together. However, I'm going to say this. I do want to see why Ellie is so pissed off at Joel, because I honestly just do not understand it, and I need to see that scene and see her justification for it. Because if all it is that, well, you swore to me. Really? I saved your life, perra? Ungrateful, like my criada. Who does that? I need a good explanation. Please, for the love of God, give it to me, because if it's just that, holy God, what a waste of time seeing this season, and I just do not care. You are a child. Yeah, this episode was good in some aspects, terrible in some others. Okay, it was just too many coincidences. Too many, oh my God, just when we needed this to happen, this happened. They just run into the same issue. Why is Ellie so mad at Joel after what he did if she knows what he did, which was revealed in the last couple of minutes of the episode? It's just, that's a very important thing. I don't understand it. I don't know, man. Yeah, the same issue I had before is everything else going on that is not Dina and Ellie is far more interesting than Dina and Ellie, because what is their story really? Oh, they like each other. Yeah, and she likes her back and therefore they're in love. Good for you. That's really not that interesting. It's actually very anticlimactic. Sorry that review was a little bit all over the place. I'll try to keep it more steady next time, but I just had a lot to say. We'll see how next episode go. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you all for the next one. Bye.